Today we are talking about John the Baptist. Before Jesus, there was John, an outdoor preacher by the Jordan who drew crowds and unsettled the local ruler. The Gospel of Luke tells us where John's story starts. It says John's parents were Zechariah and Elizabeth. They were Jews, and Zechariah served as a priest at the temple in Jerusalem. Luke says that one day at the temple, the angel Gabriel told Zechariah that Elizabeth would have a son, and they must name him John. Zechariah doubted it since they were both older, and Luke says he lost his speech until the child was born and named. Luke also says Mary, the mother of Jesus, was related to Elizabeth, which makes Jesus and John related. The other Gospels, Matthew, Mark, and John, do not include a birth story for John. They begin with John as an adult, already preaching and baptizing. If you want an early non-biblical source on John's life, you need to turn to a guy named Josephus. He was a Jewish historian writing for the Roman world, not for the church. Now, what did John do? He told people that they weren't living up to the ideals of the religion they were following. He preached repentance, which means first admitting that you are doing wrong, and second, taking concrete action to change your behavior. John told people to stop their sin and stop their injustice, instead of just feeling bad about it. People needed to make a change in how they were living. John baptized people in the Jordan River as a public sign of that change. John's work overlaps with that of Jesus. In fact, after John's death, some of his followers ended up following Jesus. In the Bible, John is mostly known for being the one who baptized Jesus in the Jordan River. Did that really happen? Scholars think the tradition that John baptized Jesus is early, because later Christians would not have invented a story that makes Jesus look like he started out under John. So what happens to John after Jesus was baptized? Well, he was arrested and executed. But why? The Gospels connect it to Herod Antipas, the Roman-backed ruler of Galilee and Perea, and to his marriage to a woman named Herodias, who had been married to his half-brother. John had spoken out against the marriage on the grounds that it violated biblical teachings. Josephus adds another angle. He says John's large following made Antipas fear civil unrest, so that is why he was arrested. Either way, John was imprisoned at Machaerus, a desert fortress east of the Dead Sea, and he was executed there. John the Baptist preached repentance. He baptized people in the Jordan, drew large crowds, and spoke against wrongdoing by those in power. He also helped introduce Jesus to the world. If you want a part 2 on Herod Antipas and Rome's world, tell me in the comments.